Procrastination. And yeah, it's a big one. I just started actually a brain training program on procrastination specifically because I realized that there's some things in my life that I really want to be doing that I'm not doing, that if I would do them would create even more magic and space and love and joy and beauty in my life. So that's on the brain training side, neuroscience, applied neuroscience, NLP, all that juicy stuff. But what we're going to talk about today is the energy of procrastination. Why are you energetically procrastinating? And we might throw in some of that, good old applied neuroscience stuff as well. So the way to get to the most out of this video, and actually I'm not sure why everyone's comments are not showing up on the side as they normally do. Let me just see if I can see video insights. Is that what no, that's not. I want to see everyone's comments, Facebook. Well, let's find out in just a minute. No, that's not the same thing. Well, thank you for bearing with me during the technical side of this. I'll see if I can bring up both windows at the same time and bring it back around. So yeah, when it comes to procrastination, I'd rather you think of, or I'd like you to think of one specific thing that you are procrastinating on so that you can get the most out of this video. Because if you have something in mind, a habit you wanted to start or wish you could start, a habit you wish you could stop, something specific, then you'll get even more out of the energy around this. So think of that right now. Hope you have something. Let's go. So for me, I wanted to create a new habit around visualizing every single day what my ideal day would look like, what my ideal life would be like, and what it would feel like, as well as some specific goals in my business. Because I've been told since time began that if I would do that, it would create a new energy in my life and in my business that would have these things happen with more ease. Now, I've noticed when I visualize specific physical habits that I'm far more likely to start them and I'm more efficient when I do. So if I visualize myself doing better at a physical routine, weightlifting in the gym, even job performance or specific physical activity, I will do it more efficiently when I do it. And there's a lot of studies around that. But we've been told from The Secret and Law of Attraction stuff that if you do it energetically, it'll make a shift as well. So I've always wanted to do that for a good period of time, 30 days, 60 days, to see if I could feel that difference. So that's the one specifically that I'm doing for myself. So in some energy clearing questions, and I would love for you to, yes, thank you. If you could like or comment, I would love to see that so that I can incorporate that into the video and what you are dealing with, what you're working on, because the more feedback I get from you guys, the more I can bring that into the video and make sure that this is specific to you. Hi, David. Thanks for being live. Great to have another East Coast run here. So, first part that gets in the way of us creating these habits, and the thing that encourages procrastination is the belief that, or the thinking that, it should be easy. Everyone makes habits. Why can't I? So, in the privacy of your own home, raise your hand if you've ever had that thought. I should be able to floss my teeth every night, but I'm not. Why can't I? But then, ow, okay, yep, someone's resisting that. So if you haven't watched these videos before, if I say ow or if I make a funny face, that's because the energy from someone who's watching is subconsciously or energetically resisting what I'm talking about and not wanting to hear it. So if I say ow, it's simply because of that. David, got to run. Okay, yeah, check out the recording later. Oh, and thanks, Leslie, for joining. Hi, Leslie. So Leslie, think of something specific that you're procrastinating on, and that this video will be a lot more powerful for you if you can think of something specific that you want to start or stop. So as soon as you have the thought, or worse yet, if you have a belief that you should be able to do this because it's supposed to be easy, like flossing your teeth, if you have that thought, you're going to be energetically chaining yourself up. And excuse me, oh yeah, some more energy coming up. You're going to be putting chains on you. You're going to be under lock and key. You're going to be putting weights on top of yourself. It's as if you're in bed and you wake up in the morning and you always feel bad when you wake up. It's like you've got heavy blankets on you. First, you've got to take off the heavy blankets before you can get out of bed and feel good. Well, it's the same thing with a habit. If you have crappy thoughts or heavy energetic thoughts around that habit that you want to start or stop, first you got to take all those thoughts off before you can start the habit. So if you want to floss, for example, every night and you haven't been, and you're beating yourself up, I should already be flossing. because every adult flosses and I'm not, and the dentist is going to get mad at me. And my mom always told me, but why didn't I do it in the past? And why can't I? Why? It's going to be really hard to start that habit. So, whew, all the ways that you are shooting yourself into not doing this habit, not doing or not stopping this habit, would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? All the excuses, stories, reasons, and beliefs that you are piling on top of yourself and believing that you first have to deal with all those before you can start this habit or stop this habit. Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Now that one is different, because that is the belief that there's all these things you have to deal with first before you're allowed to start or stop that habit. Now, we do this from a well-meaning place. We think, well, I can't just make more money, because I also have to create a budget and a plan of how I'm going to use that money so that when the money comes in, I don't waste the money. So you've created a belief. There's all these other things I have to do before I can allow more money to come in. Or the gym. You think, oh, I want to go to the gym and lift weights, or I want to go to the yoga studio and I want to do yoga classes. But I need to buy new clothes. I need to get better shoes. I need to lose 5 pounds first so that I don't look so terrible when I'm doing all those exercises. So I've got to do all those things first. So it's a well-meaning place. We want to get our house in order. We want to get things completed and wrapped up so we can feel good when we do that thing that we've been looking forward to. But the problem is that then you put up all these barriers. You put up all these barriers to you doing that thing that would be really good for you. So I had similar barriers that I've been putting up around this visualization habit that I want to start. And I just decided I'm going to stop doing all that. So the belief that you cannot simply just start this new habit or stop this habit, that it's not that easy, it's not that simple. Would you be willing to destroy that belief at the point of creation? Oh. Okay. Now, one of the biggest places that we procrastinate is with health. Actually, money and health. There's both of those. Which one should we focus on today? Money. So we procrastinate around specific actions that are going to lead to more money. So especially if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, or if you're one of the many healers that follows the work that I do, then you have specific actions that you know would move your business forward. And you know if you took those actions, you'd see a shift in your results and what you get done. But we procrastinate because we've got some fears around if we actually allowed our business to expand. So what's a big cause of procrastination is actually fear. So I know you may not feel like those two things are necessarily related, but they definitely are. So we use or we allow fear to stop us from starting or stopping new habits. So fear and procrastination are very, very closely linked and very closely tied to each other. But when we energetically tie them together, now we have to kind of beat both demons at the same time. Instead of just dealing with procrastination as procrastination, now we have to deal with all the fear at the same time. Now, it's probably in your best interest if you also deal with all that fear, but you don't necessarily have to. You could deal with that another time. So the belief that you have to move through all your fears first before you can start or stop that new habit. Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Wow, there's a lot more on that. Whew. And since there's no one live currently, that's either my stuff, and that's totally possible, or it's someone that's going to be watching in the future, and that's kind of where you've got your resistance. Yes, energy gets crazy like that. It can be either past or future or present. So that's the fear part. Next part. I took this note before because I wanted to make sure I said it. We force ourselves into someone else's box and we lose motivation. So what do I mean by that? So let's say you have a habit that you want to start, and it's, going for a walk every day. You want to go for a walk outside. And you read all those papers and you read all those books that say the best way to start a new habit is to do it first thing in the morning before you do anything else. Meditation, that's what everyone says about meditation. So, well-meaning person that you are that wants to start this new habit, you say, okay, I'm going to go for a walk every morning, first thing in the morning. But you've got a little kid like myself. I have a 15-month-old daughter, And for me to go for a walk first thing in the morning, sure, I could get up at 4 or 5 in the morning before she gets up, annoy my wife with the alarm clock that is going off another hour earlier before she already has to get up for our baby girl. I could do that for sure. I'm sure there's a way I could make it work. Or I could step out of that box that says the best way to do it is this, and I could create a whole new box. Another example, maybe you're like me and you get motivated by doing things differently from everybody else. So the very fact that the morning is the best time to do it actually motivates you to do it at a different time. But you've ignored that part of you that knows that you love to buck the current and ride to your own song. That's not the expression. I forget what it is right now. To march to the sound of your own drum. You ignore all that and you try to go into the box that others have created. And it kills your motivation. So all the ways that you are trying to put yourself in a box of someone else's motivational style, would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Whew. Yeah. Wow, we're going to do that again in a different way. And I just saw some likes pop up. So if you're currently watching this and you're liking, but I can't see your little eye, I don't know what that means yet. But if you know, please put in a comment and tell me what tech thing it is that I need to learn. So one of those likes is from Mateo, my good friend. So you're watching, but you're not allowing yourself to be visible. I understand. Okay, cool. So the box of motivation. So yeah, the belief that the best way to motivate yourself, the best way to get things done, is to do them the way that others have done them. Would you be willing to destroy that at the point of creation? Whew. Now that one could be confused with what Tony Robbins says, which is that success leaves clues. Although he actually got that from Jim Rohn, but he said it a little differently. Yes, success does leave clues for sure. And studying the way that other successful people have done things is a great way to learn how you might do things yourself. Just because someone else does it and they're very successful at it doesn't mean that you're going to be successful in the same way. I tried to build my business in the same way that others build their businesses for a long time, and it failed miserably. I tried doing sales the way that I've been taught to do sales from all the books and all the courses, and it worked really well for those people. But for me, when I used those sales questions, I couldn't get lined up. I couldn't get emotionally and energetically lined up. And if they had been my coach, they'd say, "Oh, it's just your belief system. You don't believe you deserve it. You don't believe you're worth it." Maybe you're right. I don't think so. Because when I discovered my own unique way of doing sales, it feels really good. My conversion rate is actually way higher than I think the industry standard, although I make a point of trying not to look at that kind of stuff. But 1 in 3 is pretty good of people that end up buying one or more of my services. And that's because I think I'm really aligned and authentic and honest and truthful. And my sales conversation is 2 questions. It's after I've delivered a service, I say, "Do you feel better, worse, same, or different?" Which I got from my amazing energy healer, Shiraz, who is incredible. You can look him up. He's in Toronto. And then I ask, "Great. So was this free sample that you've had all that you're looking for? Or would you like to hear about ways that we can work more deeply together?" They could say yes. They could say no. I give them an out. So that's one example of how I try to do things, and I do things completely differently than how other businesses do them. And for me, it's motivating and it works. So if you're trying to start a new habit or stop a habit that isn't good for you, and you're trying to do it the way that everyone else does everything, especially specific to that habit, like running or meditating or anything like that, all those preconceived notions or ideas and beliefs, here we go, that you have been trying to force yourself into, would you now step out of those boxes completely at the point of creation? Yeah, I think some of that was my clearing myself as well. Okay. Wow, 15 minutes already. Well, let's see if there's one more to do here and keep going to help you create or stop that habit. What I will say before we do the next clearing is, if you haven't already, please like my business page, my Spiritual Clarity business page. Also sign up for my mailing list. I can put that link in the comments below so that you can link to that and get an update of all the new programs that I'm putting out. There's a group program every month. We also have a free private Facebook group that has been a really beautiful and a really powerful community where we all just put our intentions in of what it is that we want to create. And everyone in there spends 5 minutes a day intending for someone else's specific intention. It really is beautiful. And you can find that by looking for Spiritual Clarity, the Facebook group, and I can add you to that. It's been a really beautiful experience. And if you're one of my healer tribe, healer friends that follow my work, definitely look that up, because you as a healer already have an aptitude and an ability to do that work. And if you're not a healer, it's really great because it's the easiest place to start learning how to do healing work. It's very simple, but very powerful. So it's a great place for you as well. So last piece on procrastination and clearing the energy around procrastination. Whew. Would you be willing to destroy at the point of creation all the habitual energetic patterns that you've created from the past or are creating for your future that tell you that you are a procrastinator? Ha. Whew. Now that speaks to self-image, because many of us say something like, "Oh, I'm just a procrastinator. Oh, I put things off. Oh, I delay things." So you've started to create a self-image that you just are that way. But that's a belief system. And you've been reinforcing that belief system over a long time. And you've been doing it in order to keep yourself safe from something. So here's the thought I want to leave you on. I'm going to leave you on a cliffhanger. We're not going to clear the energy. I'm just going to ask you a question, and you can consider this one on your own. What is it that you'd have to face or do if you actually started this new habit or stopped doing that bad habit? What would you truly have to look at or face? Maybe it's a fear. Maybe it's a relationship you don't want to deal with. Maybe you'd have to confront someone. Maybe you have to open up and be willing to receive something that you're uncomfortable receiving, either feedback, negative feedback, or maybe you're uncomfortable receiving money or something else. What would you have to deal with, and truly face if you started that habit or stopped it? So leave your comments below of what you think that might be after a bit of contemplation. And I would love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what's coming up for you specifically. I could do other videos on that in the future. Thank you so much for joining this Facebook Live. Please like my business page so you get more of these in the future. And if you haven't already, please join my mailing list. I'll put that link in the comments below. And thank you for joining this dose of spiritual clarity every Friday at 3 p.m. my time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be doing a longer version of these Facebook Lives that I've planned the content for in advance. So would love to have you for each one of these as we move forward. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.